be a secret your family never told you until you were old enough to understand. When I was 8, I thought our house was haunted. Not in a movie kind of way. More like the air just felt wrong at night. Sometimes I'd wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. and hear slow, dragging footsteps moving down the hallway. They always stopped right outside my bedroom door. I'd hold my breath listening, then silence. Nothing. Every morning, I'd tell my mom I heard someone walking around. She'd smile in that tired way adults do and say, "It's just the pipes, sweetheart." I wanted to believe her, but the sound wasn't metal or water. It was feet. Years passed. We moved out when I was 12, and I forgot about it. Childhood fears fade, or you think they do. Last year, after my grandmother passed away, the family met to clean out her house. My uncle and mom were sorting through boxes in the attic when I heard her say sharply, "Don't open that one." He ignored her and lifted the lid anyway. Inside were old photos, letters, and a small brown notebook with a lock on it. The tag on the front said, "David." I asked who David was. My mom froze. My uncle said quietly, "Our brother." Except I'd never heard of him ever. Mom told me to drop it, said he moved away a long time ago. But that night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. When everyone went to bed, I found the notebook and opened it. The first entry was from 26 years ago, written by my grandmother. It said, "David's sleepwalking is worse. He keeps waking up in the hallway, whispering to someone who isn't there." The next few pages were the same. Short updates about his strange behavior. He says the house feels angry. He talks to the basement door like someone's behind it. Then one line stopped me cold. Found him standing over Anna's bed again. Said he was protecting her. We don't have an Anna. There were pages after that, but most of them had been torn out. The last few entries were barely readable. He was holding a knife last night. Said the girl was in danger. And then, he's gone. We told the kids he left for college. They'll never know. That night, I confronted my mom. She tried to brush it off again, but when I said I'd read the notebook, she sat down and started crying. That's when she told me everything. David was her older brother, my uncle. He'd lived in our house long before I was born. When he was a teenager, he started hearing voices. They told him there was a girl trapped in the walls. At first, he just wandered at night, opening doors, mumbling. Then one night, my mom woke up and found him standing in her room, staring at her. He was holding a knife. He didn't attack her, just kept whispering, "You don't belong here." They sent him to a psychiatric hospital. He stayed there for years. But one night when he was 23, he escaped. No one told my mom until a week later. They said the police would find him soon. But a few nights after that, she woke up to the sound of footsteps. The same slow, dragging steps that used to pass her door. When my dad got up to check, he saw a man standing in the hallway, pale, barefoot, watching the bedroom door. By the time he ran after him, the man had vanished into the backyard. The police came. They found footprints leading into the woods, and then nothing. 2 days later, my parents moved out. When she finished telling me all that, I asked if they ever found him. She shook her head. They stopped searching after a year. Said he probably didn't make it. Then she looked at me and said something that made my stomach drop. "The old house you grew up in, it was his house first. He built that room you slept in." The next morning, I went back to the attic to return the notebook. But as I flipped through one last time, I saw something I hadn't noticed before. A loose page taped to the back cover. It was a final note, dated the year he disappeared. The handwriting was shaky. It said, "I saw her again. The little girl. She's in the house. She doesn't belong here. I have to get her out before they hurt her again." And beneath that, in red ink that didn't match the rest of the notebook, someone had written 2 words. He failed. I asked my uncle about it later. He swore he never wrote that, and Grandma never mentioned it. But when we were leaving, he told me something strange. He said, "When we emptied your old room after you moved, we found fingernail marks under the window frame. Deep ones." I didn't know what to say. Now sometimes when I can't sleep, I think I hear that same sound again. Not loud, not clear, just faint, dragging footsteps moving down the hall, always stopping right outside my door. And sometimes when I'm half awake, I swear I hear a man's voice whisper, "She doesn't belong here." If your childhood fears turned out to be real, would you want to know the truth or keep the lie that kept you safe? Comment below.